In 2009, deep within the steamy Serra coal mine of Colombia, a team of paleontologists sifted through ancient rock layers. They unearthed remnants of a rainforest from 60 million years ago, just after the extinction of the dinosaurs. But what they found shocked them. A vertebra, massive and thicker than a human wrist. At first, the paleontologists did what any reasonable scientist would do when encountering large bones in Paleocene rock. They assumed they belonged to crocodiles. Crocodilians were the giants of ancient swamps. The idea of a reptile the size of a bus was far-fetched, but not impossible. But something was off. The bones weren't the right shape. The curves didn't match typical crocodile vertebrae. And then came the shock. These weren't crocodile vertebrae. They were from a snake. A snake so huge it would be named Titanoboa. The Serra site isn't just any fossil location. It's a time capsule, a Paleocene rainforest sealed by a sudden burial of mud and ash. The remains of leaves, fish, and even turtles were preserved in stunning detail. And among the muck, the largest snake remains ever discovered were found. As more vertebrae, ribs, and associated fauna were recovered, the truth became undeniable. This wasn't an exaggeration. The fossils were consistent, enormous, and unlike anything seen before. The team realized they had uncovered a creature that would completely reset our understanding of snake size. News of the discovery hit like a thunderclap. When they first measured the vertebrae, they couldn't believe the numbers. But they checked them again and again. They were right. This snake was more than 15 meters long. Researchers were astounded. If these measurements were accurate, Titanoboa wasn't just a large snake. It was the largest land predator on Earth after the dinosaurs. Its size suggested that Paleocene ecosystems were far hotter, denser, and more competitive than previously thought. This was a creature that could only thrive in an environment pushing biology to its extreme. What kind of planet could have birthed such monsters? Titanoboa was absurdly large. The most conservative estimates placed it at around 42 feet, though some go as high as 50 feet, weighing between 2,000 and 2,500 pounds. For comparison, the largest anaconda ever reliably measured was about 28 feet and weighed around 500 pounds. So, Titanoboa was nearly twice as long and 4 to 5 times heavier. But how did scientists figure out the size of an extinct animal from just a handful of bones? Well, modern snakes follow predictable scaling laws. The size of their vertebrae directly correlates with their body length. By comparing Titanoboa's vertebrae to those of modern constrictors like boas and anacondas, scientists could estimate its size. But why was Titanoboa so much larger than any snake today? The answer lies in temperature. Snakes are ectotherms, meaning they can't regulate their own body heat. They rely on the environment to stay warm. A warmer environment speeds up metabolism, which leads to faster growth, more efficient digestion, and the ability to sustain a much larger body. When scientists discovered Titanoboa, they weren't just looking at a giant predator. They were reading a climate record from 60 million years ago, revealing a world far hotter than today. To understand Titanoboa, you have to understand its world. Picture Earth 58 million years ago, just after the dinosaurs disappeared. Global temperatures were much higher than today. In what is now Colombia, temperatures averaged around 32 degrees Celsius year-round, with little seasonal change. Imagine a rainforest that never cools down, not even at night. A world where the air feels like a constant sauna. No ice caps, no winters, just a relentless, steaming heat stretching across the globe. The forests sweated, the rivers steamed in the sun, and life grew massive. Warmth removed the biggest constraint for cold-blooded animals like Titanoboa. Today's tropical forests, like the Amazon and Congo, are too cool for a snake like Titanoboa. Modern anacondas and pythons are already close to the limits of size that our current climate allows. To push beyond their size into Titanoboa territory requires a planet several degrees warmer for millions of years. Titanoboa thrived in that heat. The Sarah site reveals this ancient world in exquisite detail. Layers of plant fossils, giant turtle shells, and early crocodile relatives have been uncovered, showing an ecosystem where size gave creatures an advantage. This was a humid, slow-moving, swampy rainforest. The water was murky, the roots tangled, and the air was thick with rain and buzzing insects. In such a setting, size was an asset. A giant snake like Titanoboa could lurk in the water, its massive body hidden by the dark currents. Its muscles stayed warm, ready to strike when the time came. So, how did Titanoboa hunt? Forget what you've seen in movies. Titanoboa wasn't chasing prey like a hyper-aggressive predator. It was too large for that. At over 40 feet long, Titanoboa wasn't fast on land. Instead, it moved through water like a crocodile, slow, silent, half-submerged. It used the swamp's murky water as camouflage, slipping through logs and roots, waiting for prey to come close enough. When it struck, the power was immense. Titanoboa could exert over 400 psi of constriction pressure, enough to crush a crocodile's ribs in an instant. Based on the ecosystem at the Sarah site, Titanoboa likely preyed on giant turtles, early crocodiles, large fish, and possibly small mammals. Its environment was its hunting ground. Its massive body was supported by water, making it easier to move and regulate its body temperature. Without water, Titanoboa would have struggled on land. But Titanoboa's reign didn't last forever. The planet began to cool, and Titanoboa couldn't adapt. As temperatures dropped, its metabolism slowed. It needed a warm environment to survive, and the Earth was becoming less hospitable. Additionally, mammals, which were warm-blooded, began to diversify and compete for the same resources. The swamps that supported Titanoboa were drying up, and with them, its food sources. Titanoboa couldn't keep up with the changing world. So, Titanoboa didn't die from predation or disease. It died because the Earth cooled. A small shift in global temperature was all it took for the largest snake that ever lived to disappear. This reminds us that climate doesn't just shape ecosystems, it defines the limits of what life can exist. Titanoboa shouldn't have existed. It was too big, too heavy, and too dependent on a world that was always destined to change. But for a brief moment, everything aligned, and for millions of years, Titanoboa ruled the swamps of ancient Colombia. Then, as quickly as it appeared, it vanished, leaving behind only bones and questions. Thank you for watching Deep Sea Enigmas. If you found this story fascinating, check out more of our captivating content on the channel. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for more intriguing mysteries. You can watch more amazing content here.